Are you in the market for emergency backup power? Have you ever wondered what's better, a fossil fuel powered generator or solar with battery backup? Well, today we're going to discuss the pros and cons of each option. Leave it up to you to decide. Let's get into it. So first you must ask yourself, why am I even considering installing a fossil fuel powered generator or solar with battery backup? That answer is going to be different for every person. We all have our own needs, and your reasons are going to be different from someone else. Now think about that carefully. Keep the answer in your head. We're going to go through the pros and cons of each, and by the end of the video you should be able to make an informed decision as to what option is better for your needs. So first we'll start with the pros of using a fossil fuel powered generator. So if what you're looking for is just backup power when the grid goes down, fossil fuel powered generator is a relatively inexpensive option. It's going to be the cheapest option between the two. And also, you know, a fossil fuel powered generator, if you just buy a gigantic generator for your average American home, you don't really have to worry about conserving your energy. So, you know, if you size the generator correctly, when the power goes out, you know, you can cook a Thanksgiving dinner and have Uncle Jim and Aunt Sally over, taking hot showers, you know, throwing a yard party, whatever the case may be. You're just going to have unlimited power without having to conserve. Another thing about a fossil fuel power generator is the fuel. If you have a gigantic fuel tank full of fuel on demand, again, you're not going to have to worry about running out of fuel. It's just, that is for a short-term outage. So, you know, you got a full tank of gas, a gigantic generator, the power goes out, whatever. You don't have to worry, you don't have to conserve. You can just kind of live your normal American dream without having to think about conserving or how much power you have left in the tank. Now we'll talk about the cons of using a fossil fuel powered generator. One, you've got maintenance costs, yearly maintenance costs. Regardless of how much you use your generator, you're gonna have to hire a technician to come through once a year, do maintenance on it. And that generally costs between $150 and $300 a year, depending on your generator and the company you work for. Two, fuel costs. So to run that generator, the average generator, 20 kW, is going to take somewhere between $90 and $200 a day to run in fuel costs. It's just going to constantly run, constantly burn fuel, kind of regardless of what you're using, just so that you have that power on hand when you need it. Third, it's really, you know, that fuel tank could potentially be a fire hazard. If you live in an area that's prone to wildfires or may be subject to wildfires in the future, having a large tank on your property full of fuel, you know, that may not be a great idea for you. You know, that could be a concern. I know I'd be concerned if I were in that kind of location. Four, they're inefficient, and so the fossil fuel powered generator is just going to run regardless of what you're using in your home. You know, you may just be running some clocks on your oven and your internet router, maybe a couple lights. Well, that fossil fuel powered generator is just going to be rattling along, burning up vast amounts of fuel regardless of your home's usage, so that if any point in time you turn on a large load, it's available. Five, they're loud and annoying to your neighbors. So, you know, in a utility outage, it's probably one of the quietest times your neighborhood is going to encounter. And if your neighbors are sitting in the dark in their homes without TV or fans or air conditioning, maybe they're cracking their windows because they want to let a breeze in at night, and they hear your generator rattling along through the night, you know, that could potentially be a little bit annoying for them. And especially if they're sitting back with no power and they know you're over there living it up in luxury. Six, fossil fuel powered generators are not resilient to fuel shortages during the zombie apocalypse. So if you're expecting the zombie apocalypse to come along and you're going to run out of fuel and there's going to be zombies around running all over the place eating people, eventually you're going to run out of fuel. And when you do, Your fuel truck driver's probably not going to come make a delivery when there's people running around eating each other. Also, that loud generator is going to alert everybody around you that you have power when they don't. 7, a fossil fuel powered generator cannot be programmed to lower your utility bills. So really the only service that generator provides is emergency backup power. The vast majority of the rest of the year, when the grid is functioning, it provides no value whatsoever. I think that's one of the most important things about this decision. It is the limited capabilities of a fossil fuel powered generator. Now for the cons of a solar with battery backup system. The really only con that I can think of is the upfront cost. Solar with batteries is significantly more expensive than a backup generator for a comparable amount of backup capabilities. So again, if all you're concerned about is backup power and cost, that solar and battery backup system is going to cost more for the same amount of backup power. Now, for the pros of a solar with battery backup system. 1, you don't have to pay for fuel because the sunshine is free, right? If the sun is shining, you've got unlimited amounts of energy coming into your home and you're not shelling out cash or needing a refill. That sun, as far as I'm aware, is basically going to come up every day. Now you might have some days that are cloudier than others where you're getting more gain than others, but you have a reliable form of energy that comes up every morning to recharge your battery bank. 2, solar panels don't have any yearly maintenance costs. Once you install your system, you don't have to pay somebody to come by every year to work on it and keep it up and running. 3, solar panels and batteries are efficient. Unlike a fossil fuel powered generator, the solar panels are going to be providing instantaneous power to your home, and if the only time you're going to use your battery power is if you're going to be using more energy than the solar panels are providing at any given time. So if your home's using less than the solar is making, you're just going to consume that power in real time. And if you've got a hybrid system, you're going to export the rest to the grid. Only once your home's consumption it gets above what the system is making are you going to pull from your batteries. And then if your home's not using any power at all and your system's just cranking away, you're going to just be sending that power back to the grid for all your neighbors to use. Now, depending on your utility, you're usually getting compensated for that additional power. 4, solar panels and batteries can be programmed to offset your utility bills. So unlike a fossil fuel powered generator, the 99% of the time when the grid is operational, your system's providing you value and paying you back over time for that upfront investment. So depending on your utility and their buyback plans, you have different ways you can set up your system, but essentially in like a maximized self-consumption scenario, anytime your home's using power and you're making solar power or you have a full battery bank, it's gonna draw from the solar and batteries first. And then anytime you're producing excess solar energy, it's going to charge the batteries first before exporting to the grid. And that way you're maximizing your self-consumption in the home. In that case, you're only really using the grid as a last option scenario when your home is using more power than the solar or batteries can provide. 5, solar panels and batteries are silent. You know, other than maybe a quiet little fan running in your basement, you're not going to be annoying your neighbors during an outage. They're going to be sleeping away, hearing the crickets chirping, not knowing anything else is going on. They'll just assume you're over there sitting without power just like everyone else. 6, solar with battery backup is resilient against long-term fuel shortages during the zombie apocalypse. So regardless, again, of fuel deliveries or what's going on in the world, your solar is going to produce power every single day and recharge that battery bank. And on top of that, it's going to be silent. So unlike a generator, all of your neighbors will be clueless to the fact that you have a generator, or at least you won't have a loud alarm running day in and day out, alerting everybody that you're living in luxury. 7, you'll be the coolest person in your neighborhood. Who doesn't want to have solar panels and batteries on their home? All your neighbors will envy you and want to be just like you. 8, you'll be embracing the future. Rather than living in an old technology, burning dinosaur bones to keep your lights on, you're moving into the 21st century, burning sunshine. 9, you'll not be contributing to climate change. So, regardless of your beliefs, climate change is real, and by releasing more greenhouse gases into the atmosphere, you're really putting future generations at a disadvantage. And by embracing the future, installing solar panels and batteries on your home, you're no longer emitting these dangerous gases that are going to heat the earth to the point of no return. So why again is it that you're considering the 2 options, solar with battery backup versus a generator? Is your only concern having reliable backup power once or twice a year during an occasional utility outage? Maybe you just want the cheapest upfront option to provide backup power once or twice a year. Not worried about saving the world with clean, renewable energy? Maybe you don't care about being the coolest person in your neighborhood. Maybe you just don't like embracing the future with industry-leading technologies. Maybe you enjoy buying fossil fuel and paying yearly maintenance costs on your generator. Maybe you get a kick out of annoying your neighbors, running a loud fossil fuel powered generator throughout the day and night. Maybe you're not worried about getting value out of your system during the 99% of the time that the grid is operating as designed. Maybe you enjoy giving your hard-earned money to massive utility monopolies that profit off of dirty power that pollutes the earth. So if you answered yes to any of the previous questions, a fossil fuel powered generator is probably the best option for you. But if those statements didn't align with your values, do yourself a favor, go down in the description below, click on the Rocky Broad Solar intake form, take a couple minutes, fill out some basic information. We'll get back to you immediately with a pressure-free, zero-cost quote to go solar with battery backup and take the power back into your hands. If you're a do-it-yourselfer and aren't really interested in paying someone else to do work on your home, go ahead and support the channel by going down in the description below and clicking on our signature solar or current connected affiliate links at no additional cost to you. It would really help the channel. As always, thanks so much for your time and support. Do me a favor, click the like button, press that notification bell, subscribe for future videos just like this one. Maybe leave a comment down in the description below. Any of those things greatly increase the success of my channel and cost no additional cost for you. Again, thanks so much. Until next time, take care.